mbunge wa sehemu hii Bwana Jalash na gavana wetu wa jiji la Nairobi Mheshimiwa Sachs na hawa wangwana wengine wote na wanaspoti wa taifa letu la Kenya, hamjambo. I am very, very delighted to be here with you as we break ground for the construction of this historic Talanta Sports City, a transformative project that is designed to redefine our nation's sporting profile and deliver an iconic facility and infrastructural development for this city and for our nation. In the bottom-up economic transformation plan and agenda for our country, we committed to facilitate our sportsmen and women and deliver adequate resources to develop every sporting discipline for Kenya to live up to its identity as a sporting nation. Among the necessary interventions set out in our plan were to return Kenya to international football, promote county-level leagues and inter-county championships, culminating in a national sport festival, and dedicated finance for sport infrastructure development. I am happy to announce that we have delivered and continue to make progress in transforming Kenyan sports into a global, competitive, and highly lucrative national sector. To begin with, Kenya is a co-host, together with East African brotherly nations of Tanzania and Uganda, of the 2027 edition of the Cup of Nations, meaning that we will be participating in a continental and internationally accredited tournament and also actually hosting a number of games here in Kenya and right here in this stadium. We have developed and are implementing with great determination the Sports and Creative Industry Infrastructure Development Master Plan. This is devoted to providing a state-of-the-art competition and training facilities to comfortably host and facilitate world-class international competitions. It will also provide high-quality training facilities for our sports people and develop a countrywide network of talent incubation and development hubs. Evidently, AFCON 2027 is just the beginning of our nation's endeavor to become a regional, continental, and global center for sport development and competition. To get there, we are committed to invest intensively and strategically to upgrade various sport facilities, including the comprehensive renovation of Kasarani Stadium, as well as the construction of new modern premises and amenities. It is our intention to make AFCON 2027 a memorable continental showpiece, and we are literally working round the clock. If you visit the Kasarani Stadium, work is underway on a 24-hour basis to ensure that renovations are completed on a high standard or to a high standard by next year, well in advance of AFCON 2027. In fact, I have just confirmed from Minister Ababu that in fact that timeline has been reviewed, that Kasarani will be complete by end of this year. Beyond AFCON, we recognize sport and creative industry as primary youthful sectors. Consequently, our sports and creative industry development strategy is intentional about leveraging the immense direct and indirect opportunities for job creation, for talent development, and for wealth creation for our young people in Kenya. We want every sporting discipline and creative endeavor to pay adequately and provide rewarding employment and other opportunities to talented people in Kenya. Under the Talanta Hela initiative, we have set out a sustainable program to identify, develop, and monetize sporting and creative talent. With the infrastructure plan, we are deploying resources from diverse arrangements, including public-private partnership, like to a good extent what's going to happen here, to develop and meet present and future infrastructure and inventory requirements. I invite stakeholders, including potential infrastructure development partners, to explore these opportunities and become part of Kenya's transformation in a world-beating sector. Our bottom-up economic transformation agenda acknowledges our country's youth bulge and approaches it as an unprecedented opportunity to catalyze a historic explosion of possibilities across our country. We are here today, therefore, to demonstrate this commitment by accompanying our promises with investment. The Talanta Sports City represents our determination in action to connect our youth to meaningful opportunities to explore their talent, give themselves an opportunity to train in modern facilities, and work with us towards winning the games that we are set out to engage in. Our journey to return Kenya into a global sporting powerhouse is firmly underway. Under the Talanta Hela initiative, the Kenya Academy of Sports has, within its first year of implementation, assembled a vast pool of impressive talent which have begun to feed to our national sporting teams, clubs, and academies with high-caliber sportsmen and sportswomen. Our commitment to deliver a sustainable pipeline of formidable talent places us in a highly promising position with regard to future competitions. We can look forward to a strong performance from Harambee Stars on home soil. And I hope Harambee Stars are listening to me come 2027. Likewise, future Olympic and other international competitions will witness transformed Kenyan teams harvesting medals with renewed efficiency. As Ababu has said, apart from this stadium that we are going to build here in a record under 2 years, I have agreed with the ministry, and that is why the Ministry of Sports is represented here, and the Ministry of Defense is also represented here, because we want this stadium to be built to world-class standards using military discipline. So I will expect our defense team, Aden Duale, the CDF, and your team, to make sure that all the timelines we have agreed are kept by the contractor, and I expect that there will be supervision every week and every 2 weeks, and I will be here myself every 3 months until this facility is completed. To get to the top of global sport and creativity, we have to start at the bottom, right down to the foundation, which is infrastructure development. And that is why this groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the Talanta Sports City is therefore another step up the ladder of our bottom-up transformation of our sport and creative industry. And as the minister has said, this facility will be accompanied by the renovation in Kasarani. We will then proceed to renovation in Nyayo. The renovation in Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega will be underway to deal with our chance competitions. The renovation in Buhungu Stadium, the renovation in Kipchoge Stadium, and we are seriously considering another stadium in Mombasa. There was a huge debate as to whether we should have this facility here or we should have it in Mombasa. For reasons that I was persuaded, we decided that this facility will be here, but we will equally find a place in Mombasa to do a good stadium that will be a low-altitude stadium, which will both support our sportsmen in athletics and in other games to train at the low-altitude facilities in Mombasa. Let me commend the work that has been done over the last 6 months. I know many teams, they have met with me many times. We have gone back and forth because we wanted to make sure that the stadium is world-class, it will be built in record time, and it will be cost-effective. Because ultimately, we must account for every shilling that we spend from the coffers of the people of Kenya. I am also very proud that the team has also taken into account the position of Kenya as a great champion of matters renewable energy, environmental issues. Hosting UNEP here in itself is a big step and a major statement. And therefore, I am very happy that many of the trees here will not be cut down. Many of them will be saved, and we will plant additional trees, as we have done again this morning. I'm also happy that all the facilities that initially had been put in place have been saved, and that no facility here that had been constructed using public money will be lost, that we are going to keep all the facilities here. And this facility is not only going to serve our premier competitions, but also the grounds here will have opportunities for people from Gando and all these areas to also use the facilities in this stadium. For those who don't know, I lived in Gando here, and therefore I am in the village when I am here, and I am very happy that I have come to break ground in my former village to build a world-class stadium. The ministry should work in collaboration with the county government of Nairobi so that we can agree on how young people, sportsmen and women from these local villages here can also have access to use this facility so that we can grow talent from the local community here. Let me also confirm that we are going to work with the Nairobi City Council in the facilities they have mentioned, whether it is the city stadium that they want to convert into Joe Kadenge Stadium. I want to ask Babu Namwamba to have consultations with the governor so that we can see what facilities and what resources we can make available to support the county government of Nairobi in the construction of that facility. And let me assure sportsmen and women that they are front and center in our plan to ensure that sports, and Kenya being a great sporting nation, that sports receives the requisite support, financial, policy, political, goodwill, support for our teams so that we can continue to take our place as a sporting nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, with this groundbreaking, the construction of the Talanta city is officially launched. Asanteni sana.